Hey team, I'm Josh. Last week I posted a video comparing 5 Dolby Atmos soundbars, but in this video I want to hone in on the Bose and Sonos to figure out which system suits you best. We'll quickly go over the basics before getting onto the sound performance and ideal customer. Anyways, let's get to it. Both of these soundbar systems come as individual items. The Sonos Arc and Bose 900 retail for $899. Sonos Sub Gen 3 is $749, whereas the Bose base module 700 is $799. A pair of Sonos 1SLs is $398, compared to the Bose Surround 700 at $549. The full Sonos system retails for $2,049, and Bose retails for $2,249, making the Sonos $200 cheaper. Both bars operate as a 5.0.2 channel system by themselves, but when you add the subwoofer and rear speakers, they become a 5.1.2 channels. This is due to the soundbars using side-firing drivers when standalone, but then turning those off if the surrounds are connected. Sonos has a larger presence on the cabinet as it's a bit longer and taller, so if you need to put this under your TV, then the Bose will fit easier and shouldn't block your screen or IR receiver for the TV's remote. I'm a big fan of their look. Sonos has gone with a cylindrical body and matte finish, whereas Bose is more traditional with a rectangular body and finished with a glass top. Sonos is easier to keep clean, and that glass shows dust and fingerprints more often. Either way, just use a fluffy microfiber cloth when needed. You can also get each soundbar in black or white to suit your room. Both soundbars have an eARC port, which is required to get Dolby Atmos from your TV. Sonos comes with an optical adapter for those older TVs, and Bose has one built in. Ethernet is also available on both soundbars if you prefer a wide connection. Wi-Fi connectivity is excellent, especially if you have a decent router, and if you don't, I'd highly suggest you go pick one up. Bose have a few extras over the Sonos, like provisions for a wide sub option if you find there's too much interference with the wireless, and an IR out if you need the soundbar to control other devices. They're pretty niche uses, but could come in handy for your situation. On the front you have a pretty simple set of buttons and lights. Sonos has a single LED above the logo and touch controls on the top for volume and play and pause. It's also got a microphone mute button down the right hand side. Bose has a dual LED to the left and an action button next to the microphone mute. Now the smart features is where we start to see a bigger difference between these two bars. Bose has built-in Bluetooth, which Sonos doesn't. For Android users, this may be a big deal if you want to play music from your device that aren't available through the app. Chromecast is also coming to the 900, which again is a real letdown on Sonos' end. And if that wasn't enough, you can only do TruePlay tuning on an Apple device, so that's 3 strikes against the Arc for Android users. Bose has implemented a more traditional tuning method through a wide headset, and both the Adapt IQ and TruePlay offer great results and are worth doing. AirPlay is available throughout, with support for Alexa and Google Assistant in some countries. If you guys are finding this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you just quickly hit the like button to show your support. Thanks. Both apps are best in class, and either way you go, you should be able to pick it up fairly quickly. I find Sonos slightly more intuitive due to Bose having some hidden settings such as adding or removing music services or other Bose products, which you have to go back out into the main menu first and then into the account settings. Not a biggie, but Sonos has all their settings in one area, and I really enjoy using the bottom bar to quickly get between sections. If you enjoy radio stations, then both apps support TuneIn and iHeartRadio, with the Bose stepping it up to having assignable preset buttons on a physical remote to quickly change between the stations. If you want the most fine-tuning, then Bose has Sonos Beat. You get the addition of the center channel adjustments and can turn the dialogue mode on or off within movies and music, whereas the Sonos only allows for voice enhancement when playing an HDMI source, and only bass or treble adjustability. Both can change the sub and rear levels, as well as turn them on or off, which has been super handy for testing. Now to music. Bose is a little more treble leaning and great for detailed music. Sonos has a smooth sound that limits the higher frequencies to stop the harshness. I found after more testing that the Bose begins to sound harsh when dialogue mode is turned on for music, so instead I'd recommend just turning up the center channel, and that does a good job of boosting the vocals. I preferred the Sonos for full-bodied music, and the sub did an excellent job of filling in the low end. When comparing just the bars, they both exceeded my expectations, especially when turning up the bass a little, and they still managed to present the vocals accurately. I think one of the main reasons for buying one of these soundbars over a cheaper option is the added functionality of multi-room audio. Sonos and Bose have a wide collection of other products that you can purchase with the soundbar to take music or even TV audio to other parts of your house. When trying to decide which one to get, I'd look at the other speakers you're likely to want and factor that into your purchase. Sonos seems to have the most stylish standalone speakers in the likes of the Sonos One, 5s or Move, which can all seamlessly be added to the Sonos system. Bose, on the other hand, seem to be stuck creating outdated looking speakers that don't sound as good as the Sonos equivalent, but that may change in the future. One thing that Bose does have over Sonos is the ability to connect Bose headphones with this bar, which can be handy for nighttime viewing. Both of these soundbars excel with dialogue. They take it two different ways. Sonos brings warmth to the vocals and seems to do a good job keeping other sounds present. Bose prefers to push the dialogue straight down the center, which results in better clarity but turns the background sounds down. Sometimes it can be a little harsh, but you can always play around with the EQ to get it sounding right. I never found Sonos to push the treble too much, so that shouldn't be something you have to worry about. I tested them with and without the sub and rears, and the dialogue performance was very similar either way. Sonos takes it for the surround sound, but not by as much as you'd think. I found it surprising how well the little drivers of the Bose did, and it's far more discreet than the Sonos One. Sonos is easier to get sounding good. I've probably set up 15 to 20 Sonos Arcs in different rooms, and all I needed to tweak was turn up the sub a little, max the height channel, and turn on the voice enhancement. Bose requires a little more tweaking for movies and music, so I found myself using the app more than Sonos. Overall for movies they did an excellent job, and after listening to it for extended periods, I was super happy with the performance. Now here's a sound test between these two in my small room. So where does that leave us? Bose is much better for Android users and those that enjoy a more refined, less coloured sound. The remote is great in conjunction with the internet radio stations, and the overall size of the system is perfect for a small room or apartment living. Sonos excels in giving you big, bold sound for the latest action movies and has an excellent surround sound performance with a great collection of extra speakers available to create that whole home system. I enjoyed using both systems and highly recommend getting the sub and rears for either platform, especially for movies as they add a lot to the experience. I'll be keeping the Arc as my main bar because I get the most from being an Apple user and I prefer the overall sound and functionality. But what do you rather? Let me know in the comments below. With that, if you enjoy the discussion around soundbars and TVs, then I'd love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so we can keep the dialogue going. Anyway, that's all from me. See you guys soon.